Hey there, planners. Planner stack videos for the upcoming year are some of my very favorite videos to watch on YouTube, especially this time of year when we're thinking about very strategically how are we going to attack the year ahead. These are some of the planners that have been in my stack in the years past. I have everything from Filofax rings to Hobonichi Cousins, Stylogy notebooks, Scribbles That Matter notebooks, ring-bound planners, folio-bound planners. I've been through a full gamut and tried so many different planners over the years. I'm looking forward to sharing with you a very different approach to 2022. So go grab your planners and let's get planning. Planner stack videos are all about what planners are we going to be using in the year ahead, different types of planners, different type of planning needs. The process I use to select the planners that I'm going to be using in the year ahead always begins with mapping out my planning needs for the year ahead. I recently posted this video with my mind mapping process. I will leave that link down in the description box below so that you can go check that out. But this was the result of me mapping out all the things that I need to have plans for in my life. So my next step after I do this is to determine what kind of planners do I need. And I think it's really important that when you are selecting planners for the year ahead, that you start with what do you need in a planning system. There are lots of beautiful planners out there. And I have, as I showed in the intro of this video, been through I think them all, or pretty close. I've tried different formats, different sizes. I've tried, rings, folios, notebooks, build your own, pre-printed. I've been through the full gamut. And so when you map out everything you need in your planner system, then you can begin to evaluate, is it a blank notebook that I need? Is it a pre-printed planner? Is it disc bound for the flexibility? Do I need a larger size or a smaller size to be able to carry around? And so on. So that is really an important step to ground you. This year, as I looked at my needs, I was really struggling with how do I have a system that meets all of these needs, but also maintains portability and connectedness to ensure that I stay up to date on all of these areas. Because while these are different areas of my life, they depend on each other. So for example, when I'm thinking about work planning and, travel or projects, I also need to be looking at my home calendar to know what do I have going on certain days that I need to make sure I finish up work at a certain time. When I think about planning for this channel and the content schedule, I also need to be thinking about my personal goals and how they connect, and my home schedule and how that connects, and my work schedule and how that connects. So there's a need to have space for all of this planning while also maintaining the connectedness in all of the plans. So I started researching planning systems versus planners, and there's a really nuanced difference there. A planning system represents all the tools and all the methods that you use to stay organized, whereas a planner is a physical or digital device that you use to, manage tasks and calendar items, things like that. So I was really looking into planning systems, and after many hours of reading articles and blog posts and watching videos here on YouTube, I landed on a planning system that I believe is really going to support all of these needs while maintaining portability and the connectedness that I need. So with that, let me introduce you to my 2022 planner stack. Ta-da! This is my 2022 planner stack. Now, you are probably thinking, Planning Annie? That is not actually a stack of planners, and you would be correct about that. My 2022 planner system is not a stack of planners as I have used in the past. For 2022, I have just one item. This is an iPad Pro, a 12.9-inch iPad Pro, and this is my planner system for 2022, at least to start with. So after years and years of physical planners, I'm going to be giving digital planning a real college effort for 2022. Now, I have tried digital planning in the past. I dabbled unsuccessfully, but that's been a long time ago. And now, before you close out this video and call me a traitor and throw eggs at the screen, let me walk you through some of my thinking about why am I using this as my planner for 2022. As you can see from my mind map here, there are layers and layers and layers of planning needs. And maybe if you have done a mind mapping session, you got to a similar result. Or if you're just thinking about the different areas of your life that you need to plan, you're getting to a similar result. But here's what frustrated me. All of these areas, while distinct, they're also interdependent. As I talked about, one area's plans really depends on what's going on in another area. So while these things are interdependent, they also require different formats for me. My faith journaling is a lot of free space to write out prayers and listing to make prayer list. While, YouTube channel planning is calendars and tables and tracking statistics and, content drafting. So there's some free space writing in there as well. And so now I could have tried to put all of this in a single planner. It would have been massive. I may be disc bound, but even then, what I could keep in that planner would be so small. I would only be able to keep just this small space. So future planning really would have suffered. And too many various formats that I need. I would have spent a tremendous amount of time drawing. I have never successfully found a printed planner that carries all the formats that I need. So this is where my research for, how do I solve this issue really led me to digital planning system. Now, if you're anything like me, the whole idea of digital planning is an immediate turnoff, because it was for me. Immediately. I need to physically write. I need to write things down in order to remember them, meaning holding a pen in my hand, in my own handwriting, and writing things down. The other thing is I like a lot of pretty planning aspects like stickers and washi tape and using themes and colors and color coding. Even in my work planner, which is a lot less decorative, I still use color coding and some washi tape for dividers, more functional based, but I still use some aspects of pretty planning in my work planning. And I like to have a finished planner, like this guy. I like to have a finished planner at the end of the time frame to then go back in and flip through and see, all the great things that happened that year. So, that all of those reasons really turned me off from digital planning. And even when I've tried in the past, years ago, I couldn't overcome that need to physically write, to not have the finished product. There were really some challenges there for me. So I thought digital planning just can't be for me for all of those reasons. Now, I will do a separate video about how I am overcoming all of those reasons and, what really made me come to digital planning. What are all the aspects of digital planning, the benefits that I've learned about? I did a tremendous amount of research. I feel like I could write a college thesis on digital planning. I've learned so much. And so I will do a separate video all about that if you want to dive a little deeper in that. And I'll share what I've learned with you. But in short, digital planning has come a long way over the last few years. And today, I believe that all of those reasons and those challenges that I had for digital planning have been eliminated. And I actually think there is very little difference between planning in this iPad Pro or any tablet versus planning in a physical planner. I believe there's very little difference in the two, except that digital planning addresses my major concerns with the physical planning system, which is portability and interconnectedness, in a way that a physical planner, regardless of format, can never do. Now, you, my wonderful subscribers and viewers, may be thinking that you don't love this idea, that you don't love the idea of me going to a digital planner in 2022. You may be where I was and thinking that using a digital planner in 2022 means that the content on this channel is not going to be useful for you anymore. I want to assure you that my planning style has not changed at all. I have been playing around with the digital planning format for a little over a month now, just to see what possibilities are. I've been kind of double planning in my physical planner, which I rely on, and in a digital planning format, just to see what I could do. And very little has changed. I'm still using a modified, personalized bullet journal system. I am very focused on functional planning techniques that help me get, my goals accomplished, all the tasks done. I still love using washi tape and stickers and theme kits and trying out different things from Etsy and making my own decorations for my planner, things to make it pretty. And I still use goal setting in every area of my life to, really get things done and create that future that I'm driving after. So none of this changes on the channel. And as always, regardless of what planner or planner system you're using, Planning Annie is going to remain a place for you to get and share ideas about making plans for different areas of your life. I'm still going to be planning all these things in the way that I have. The difference is I will be doing it in a blank notebook system on an iPad versus a physical blank notebook system. So let me talk a little bit about the planner that I'm actually using. All right, so once I made the decision to go digital, which was a big decision, but once I made that decision, I started researching all the tools and options available. Digital planners are no different than physical planners in that they come in all different sizes, formats, structures, layouts, options, pre-populated, blank notebook style, hyperlinks, all the different things you have to get through and sort through, just as you do with a physical planner. So choosing a planner is still just as hard as with a physical planner. I will say YouTube is a really great place to research the different types of digital planners. I will list in the description box below some of the channels that I've been watching to get good ideas and to learn more about digital planning, and some other resources down below. Etsy is also a really great place to purchase digital planners, and after tons of research, I actually purchased a few different planners over the last month or so from Etsy, discounted 2021 planners, just to play around in and really test out style and what options I would like to have. I will also have some of the items that I have been playing around with listed down in the description box below. In the end, I determined that a pre-made digital planner was not really going to meet all my needs because, again, I go back to the complexity of the areas that I want to have plans for in my life, and I came to the exact same challenge that I have always come to with pre-printed physical planners, that one planner cannot meet all my needs, which is why I've always migrated to blank notebooks. And so it's really funny to me because digital planning doesn't solve that problem. It's the same problem I had, in physical planning. However, it's a lot easier to overcome. So I decided to go the route of actually making my own digital planner. So I'm not a graphic designer. I'm not a digital guru. But the process of making my own blank notebook style digital planner that I could easily navigate was surprisingly easy. It did not take me very long. I found great resources here on YouTube to teach me how to do that. And so I was able to actually make my own digital planner. And this is my personal everyday carry planner for 2022. If you're interested in learning more about how I made this planner, particularly as we get into actually using this planner in 2022, please let me know down in the description box below, because I will be happy to share what I've learned, acknowledging that I am not an expert, but I was able to successfully navigate to creating something that I'm really happy with. So I'm using the GoodNotes app on the iPad. There is a small fee for GoodNotes. To me, it's completely worth it given all the functionality that GoodNotes provides. There are some other options. If you're not using an iPad, there are other options that you can use. You're basically using a PDF reader and interface app because you want to use a planner in a PDF format. So in GoodNotes, I have two different planners that I'm going to be using in 2022, one for work and one for personal. That is the lowest number of planners I've used in a long time. Because of the type of work I do, I have to keep work and personal completely separate. And so GoodNotes does allow me to do that, but I still can have everything in the same item, the same physical item. So that is fantastic. I'm really looking forward to this. This is actually my personal planner that I'm going to be using. So inside of these planners, I will just flip the page. You can see they look very much like a blank notebook with a couple of templates set up. I have tabs along the side here of my notebook, and I did set it up as a landscape style notebook. I have tabs along the side for the cover, index, notes, then the months of the year. This index is a place for me to list out any intro pages that I will do, like my word of the year and my vision board and, a year at a glance, future log, all those things. And I have actually been able to create these as hyperlinks. So once I put, let's say the first page that I put in here is a year at a glance, I will be able to tap that and go right to the year at a glance. You can see very blank page. I have actually put a sticky note in here the same way I would in a blank notebook as I'm getting ready to set it up for use. I went ahead and put sticky notes in here with what I want to use the page for. So this says year at a glance. And you can see I've done a little bit of pre-work just laying out exactly what I want to include in here. But blank notebook. And then I can always use my hyperlinks over here to get back to my index or to any of the monthly pages. Each month also has an index listed here. Some things are already laid out and included, like a master calendar, a meal plan, content plan, inbox, brain dump, mood board, goals, and faith. Those are things I know I'm going to use because I've always used those. Those are core elements in my monthly planning. I also have space for other items. So that's kind of the content. I will be going into this far more once I get ready to set this up. I'll do a setup video the same way I would every year with a new planner, and so I'm excited to really share this with you. I will talk about one other thing. So one of my major concerns was the ability to physically write. And let me just turn to a blank page here. Physically writing is really important to me because that's how I remember, is being able to physically write. The last time I tried digital planning, I did not try, and I don't even know if it was available at that time, it's been so many years ago, but an actual, a pencil to use with planning. This makes all the difference, Being able to write in my own handwriting and actually make notes in my own handwriting it makes all the difference to me. This is what makes digital planning very, very similar to physical planning from the way my brain works and remembers things. So I'm really excited to introduce this, and I think the pencil, along with the format that looks very much like a notebook, is going to keep this very meaningful to you no matter what type of planning system you use. So I am super excited. This is my planner stack. So let's talk about what's next. Over the next several weeks, I am going to be doing all the things I would normally do, which is setting up my planners, both personal and work, intro pages, goal setting, word of the year, year at a glance, stickers, washi, vision board, all that stuff. I'm going to be setting that up, and of course, I'm going to be taking you along with me every step of the way. I hope that regardless of what planner you use, you will be joining me for the journey. Setting up for the new year is so exciting, and I would love to hear your ideas. I would love to be able to share my ideas with you. So I hope you will join me in all of that exciting beginning of the year activity. I would love to hear from you in the comments down below. What planners are in your planner stack for 2022? Have you mapped out your planning needs? If you haven't done this yet, go check out this video, spend the time to do this. It's a bit of deep work. It takes some time, it takes some creativity, but it's so worth it, because once you see everything you need to have plans to support, you can really begin to think of your planner system, not just the planner that you want to purchase. If you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to Plannin' Annie for more content like this, and as always, thanks for planning with me.